Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Story number 47, and the title is A Prophet's Prayer to be in Prison. A Prophet's Prayer to be in prison. When we think of a prison, then what comes to our mind? It is not a place for traveling or enjoying or relaxing. A prison is a place for punishment. And that's why no one wants to go there. And here we find a prophet of Allah. He wanted to go there. He prayed to Allah to go there. Why? What is the reason? That is going to be the focus of our story. That prophet was Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. And he was sold as a slave in his young age to Egypt, and a minister of the Egyptian government, probably a prime minister, he bought him from the market and took him in his house. So Yusuf alayhi salam was very comfortable there. He was helping them. Things were going very well until there was a problem. The problem was that his landlady, her name was Zulekha. His landlady became attracted to him. Each prophet of Allah was given certain miracles. And Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, one of the miracles Allah gave to him was his beauty. Allah made him extremely beautiful. Extremely beautiful. When he used to walk, he used to hide his face. Because anyone, especially the female members, anyone see her would feel attracted to him. That was one of the miracles with him. Allah made him extremely beautiful, and for that beauty also things happen, and those things we find in Holy Quran as a lesson for the mankind. So she became attracted, and then the problem began. Now let us go to the Quran and find out more. We go to chapter 12 and verse 23. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وراودته التي هو في بيتها عن نفسه and she, in whose house he was. She wanted to seduce him from his noble self. He was noble, but she wanted to have an illegal relationship with him. وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ, and she closed all the doors. With her bad intention, she closed all the doors so that Yusuf alayhi salam could not get out. وَقَالَتْ هَيْتَ لَكَ, and then she called him, come unto me. She called him to go to her, but he didn't. Holy Quran says that he said, قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ, I seek Allah's help. Allah forbid. إِنَّهُ رَبِّي أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ, truly my landlord, your husband, he made me stay with you very comfortable. He provided a comfortable place for me. I am grateful to him, and I cannot betray him. So it has two meanings. One about my landlord. I cannot betray him. I should be grateful to him, and I can't do any khiyana. I cannot betray the trust. Another meaning is, my Lord Allah, He has favored me, and He has put me in the right place, a comfortable place. And now if I do adultery, if I disobey my Lord Allah's command, then I will do a great betray to my Allah's command. I can't do this. He also added, إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُونَ, truly nothing good comes to those who do wrong. People do wrong for a temporary pleasure, but actually the wrong thing never ever benefit the wrongdoer. In this world, it makes the wrong suffers to the wrongdoer. And also the consequences of the wrongdoer and the wrongdoing in the next life also very severe. If someone does something wrong, then to hide it, he has to lie more about it, cheat more about it. And the more he does, the more the anxiety and tension comes in. So scientifically, psychologically, religiously, any way you think about the wrongdoing, actually the wrongdoing is bad for the wrongdoer. And that's what he said. That nothing good comes to those who do wrong. So on one hand, she is trying to use her position, power, because she was the landlady and he is working for them. So she was forcing on him, and on the other hand, he was not fulfilling her desire. You can imagine the feeling of rejection in uh, the outcome of it. So Yusuf alayhi salam, to escape from her, he started running towards the door. And she, on the other hand, also started running to pull him back. Allah says in Quran, وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابِ. They both ran towards the door. One was running to get away, Yusuf alayhi salam, and the lady, she was running to pull him back. وَقَدَّتْ قَمِيصَهُ مِن دُبُرٍ. And when she was trying to pull him back, she tore the shirt of him from the backside. وَأَلْفَيَا سَيِّدَهَا لَدَى الْبَابِ. And then the door opened and they found the landlord, her husband, was near the door. So they got caught. Now who should be blamed? The lady quickly, she spoke. She said, قالت, she said, ما جزاء من أراد بأهلك سوءا إلا أن يسجن أو عذاب أليم. She said, what should be the result? What should be the punishment for someone who wanted to do evil things against your wife? إلا أن يسجن, except in imprisonment, أو عذاب أليم, or severe punishment. So she quickly put the blame on innocent Yusuf alayhi salam. And she was demanding not only blame, she was demanding for him to be in prison or another kind of severe punishment. Yusuf alayhi salam, he did not stay quiet. He spoke up, and this is what we have to do. If someone put the blame wrongly on us, we have to at least tell our side of the story. So Yusuf alayhi salam said, قال هي راودتني عن نفسي. It was she, not me. It was she who tried to seduce me from my noble self. It was she. So now, one against another. It's like your word against my word. Where is the witness? And how the landlord could solve this problem, to find who was actually telling the truth and who was actually telling the lie. Suggestion came. وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا. And one of the members of her household saw and offered advice. What was the advice? That advisor advised the landlord that go and do the checking with the qamis, with the dress of Yusuf alayhi salam. إن كان قميصه قد من قبل فصدقت وهو من الكاذبين. If you find the dress is torn in the front part, then she is telling the truth and he is lying. Why? If a man, for example, if a man is attacking a woman, then he is attacking with his front side. So, he is attacking with his front side, and woman is trying to get away. So, therefore, his front side dress will be torn. And that will be a proof that man was aggressive and woman was defensive. But وَإِن كَانَ قَمِيصُهُ قُدَّ مِن دُبُرٍ فَكَذَبَتْ وَهُوَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. If you find the dress was torn at the back, then he is telling the truth and she is lying. Because that will be a proof that he was trying to get out. He was trying to run away from the evil thing and she was trying to pull him back. And that's why she was at back and back side of the dress was torn. Very nice advice. Very nice advice. فَلَمَّا رَأَى قَمِيصَهُ قُدَّ مِن دُبُرٍ. The landlord did the checking, and when he found out the qamis, the dress was torn from the behind, from the back. قَالَ إِنَّهُ مِن كَيْدِكُنْ. Then he said, surely it is a plot of you, O woman. It is a plot of you, woman. إِنَّ كَيْدَكُنَّ عَظِيمٌ. Truly, your plot is very strong plot. Then he turned to Yusuf alayhi salam, the landlord. And he said to Yusuf alayhi salam, Yusuf a'rid an hadha. Oh Yusuf, forget this. Forget this event. Just leave it. Yusuf a'rid an hadha wastaghfiri li dhanbik. Then he told his wife, wife, ask forgiveness for your sin. إِنَّكِ كُنْتِ مِنَ الْخَاطِئِينَ. Verily, you have been at fault. So, the matter was judged. But did it end there? No. It did not end there. That was the problem. So the problem was keep going. She felt rejected. And she must have talked to some other ladies. And that's how the whole matter leaked. And the ladies' talk began. One talked to another, another talked to another, another talked to another. So all the ladies from ministers in high-fi class, they came to know. And they didn't know Yusuf alayhi salam. They were thinking that he was just a servant. So they were making nasty comments that how come the Zulaikha has become crazy for her servant. She is mad. She is really mad. Blah blah blah. These negative comments came to her. She heard, And then she became more angrier, and she wanted to teach them a lesson. So his landlady organized a banquet, a feast in her palace, and she invited all the high-class ladies who were talking bad about her. And according to their custom, they used to give fruits and knives, so the guest could cut the fruit with a knife and they could eat them. So according to their custom, each guest, each lady was given a fruit and a knife. And in the meantime, landlady called Yusuf alayhi salam to appear in front of them. So I will cut the story short and just I will give some highlights from Quran. So Quran said, وَقَالَتْ اخْرُجْ عَلَيْهِنْ. And she said to Yusuf, come out before them. Come out before them. So Yusuf alayhi salam came out before them. فَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَاهُ وَكَبَرْنَاهُ فَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَاهُ أَكْبَرْنَاهُ وَقَطَّعْنَ أَيْدِيَهُنَّ. When they saw him, they praised him so much for his looks and beauty, and in their amazement they had cut their hands. So instead of cutting the fruit, they cut their hands because they were really amazed looking at him. They were really amazed and they were praising him too much. They said, وَقُلْنَا حَاشَ لِلَّهِ. Allah is perfect. وَقُلْنَا حَاشَ لِلَّهِ مَا هَذَا بَشَرٌ. And this is not a man. This is not a mortal man. إِنَّ هَذَا إِلَّا مَلَكٌ كَرِيمٌ. This is no one except a noble angel. So they found him extremely beautiful, and out of their amazement they forgot to cut their fruit and they were cutting their hand. That much miraculous beauty Allah had given to Yusuf alayhi salam. And for this beauty, Allah also tested him. With that beauty, Allah had tested his landlady. With that beauty, Allah had tested other ladies too, for a lesson. And the lesson is that Allah is giving two kind of mentality here. One, he is beautiful, he is attractive, and a world is calling him, come into the adultery, come into the enjoyment. And he said, I fear Allah. I can't do this. Because Allah's command that I should not do adultery. So I can't do. So this is one character. Even though he has beauty and he could have responded to their call, yet he is not responding. Why? Because he is righteous and he fears Allah's punishment. Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith that in the day of judgment, when there will not be any shade, no trees, nothing, no houses, no shade available, that time the only shade available will be the shade from his own throne. And 7 categories of people will be given place under that shade, and one of those categories, young people. Young people. For example, a young man. When a young woman, pretty woman comes and say, come into adultery, he said, no, I'm sorry, I fear Allah, I can't do this. That kind of young people, young men or young woman who refuses to the adultery despite the world, the whole world is calling them, they will be given special shade of throne in the day of judgment for them when there won't be any other shade available. So we can see the Yusuf alayhi salam, he has one character. He was young, beautiful, and the world was open for him to commit adultery. Yet he has righteous character, moral character, and he fears Allah, and he fears the consequences of sins. That's why he is avoiding all the sins. On the other hand, we see another character. Another character is his landlady. And now other ladies also going to support her. Support her. Because in that society also we find out that society, the immorality in their high society in that time. In the high society, high class society, we can see immorality. They had money, they had power. And they were abusing that money and power. His landlady had power, had money, position, and she was abusing all these, and she was trying to use all these things to commit adultery. So 2 characters here. One God-fearing, moral, and another no God-fearing, immoral. So when we are going back to the story, so when all these guest ladies, when they saw him, and they also found him emerging and beautiful, and they could not hold their normalcy into the right place. They also lost their normalcy, and as a result, instead of cutting the fruit, they cut their hands. Now his landlady took the chance. She said, she said to them, قالت فذلكن الذي لمتنني فيه. She said, before you, there is the man about whom you blamed me. You blamed me that I was doing the wrong thing. Now what about you? Why did you become attracted to him? You forgot about your fruit and yourself, and you cut your hand. And now can you see that why I am attracted to him? Now can you blame me? Knowing that you could not compose yourself. So how could I have composed myself? So she is giving them reason she is making them guilty, and then the whole thing becomes an open secret to them without any action. And that's what happens among some friends. You know someone is committing crime among your friends, and you sort of know you are not doing, but you are not stopping the crime either. Open secret. So it became an open secret. So she is reminding other ladies, and then she said, وَلَقَدْ رَاوَدَتْهُ عَنْ نَفْسِي فَاسْتَعْصَمْ. I wanted to seduce him from his noble self. I wanted him to do the adultery. But he refused. He refused. Also you can see the shamelessness among friends, among other ladies. She was telling openly, yet no one protested. Hey, Julekha, you are doing wrong. Stop this. Hey, Julekha, you are doing immoral thing. Stop this. No, they were not doing this thing either. So she was keep going. She said, I wanted the adultery, but he refused. وَلَئِن لَّمْ يَفْعَلْ مَا آمَرُهُ. And if he does not do what I command him to do, لَيَسْجُنَنْ. Then he has to be in prison. He will be thrown into prison. وَلَيَكُونَ مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. And he will be the one among the lowest. He will be humiliated and he will suffer. When that was her ultimatum, not privately, in front of all the hi-fi ladies, and silently, directly or indirectly, they were supporting her. They did not stand up for the truth. They did not say, no, Julekha, you can't do this. He is innocent. And you cannot force him into doing something wrong. No, they didn't say that. When that stage came, then Yusuf alayhi salam, he made his prayer. The title, A Prophet's Prayer to be in prison. When did he make the prayer? That time. When he came into a stage where he had only two options open. One option, either go to the prison and to be saved from immoral adultery, or to avoid the prison, follow her command. When that stage came, then Yusuf alayhi salam, he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and his prayer is quoted in Holy Quran. He said, قال رب السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه. He said, O my Lord, O Allah, the prison is more to my liking than to what they invite me. The prison is more to my liking than what they invite me. O Allah, what they are inviting me for, I don't like this. Because you don't like this. So to avoid their immoral things, immoral demand, if I have to go to prison, I prefer prison. I prefer some suffering, and I prefer to be away from sin. That was an extremely brave example, extremely honest and righteous example. He was young. He could surrender to the temptation, but he didn't. Today, how many young people can say, no, I won't surrender into the illegal relationship, adultery. I'll not surrender into this because my Allah has forbidden it. وَلَا تُبَذِّرْ تَبْذِيرًا إِنَّ الْمُبَذِّرِ. Sorry, this is not the verse. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. Allah has commanded that وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا. Do not even go near the adultery. Allah didn't say don't do the adultery. Allah said don't go near. Because if you even go near to it, then step by step, you will go into it. So Allah said even avoid the environment, the companionship, the situation, the certain sight, if that attracts you or pulls you towards adultery, avoid. So keep a safe distance. Yusuf alayhi salam, he was that example. Young man, beautiful man. He had every facilities, opportunities to become immoral, but he did not. May Allah bless him. May Allah bestow His mercy on him, and may Allah allow us to follow that kind of character, that kind of morality. So eventually what happened? The information came out, and the ministers, they found out that their ladies were crazy for him, and they wanted to hide the fact. So they decided that they should keep innocent Yusuf alayhi salam into the prison for a while. Yusuf alayhi salam prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "Oh Allah, grant me the prison rather than I am giving into the adultery." Allah accepted that. Allah accepted that prayer. So the rulers, they decided for their own sake to hide the fact, to put him in prison for a while. So Yusuf alayhi salam was saved from the wrong thing. He was in prison for a while, and then later on, when he was needed for the state, for the country, then he was called by the ruler in that time, and Yusuf alayhi salam gave a condition that ruler should investigate about that incident and to clear his name. Then the ruler investigated, his name was cleared, the whole country found out that he was innocent, he was good, and later he was made the ruler for Egypt. He was made a ruler for the Egypt. So the Prophet Yusuf in today's youth, you'll find the whole story in the website basicsofislam.co.nz, and here I'm not covering the whole story, I'm just covering this particular aspect. So a prophet's prayer to be in prison. So this is the background, that when he prayed for that and why he prayed for that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us good character like Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.